One of the best parts of my job, especially around here at the Fayetteville Fort Bragg area, is when buyers buy their house and they decide to do some renovations to it, some upgrades to it, and then they call me back out to take a look at all the new stuff they've done. That's like the greatest feeling in the world for me.
Best day ever. Best day ever.
Some of my buyers have such great big plans, renovating the kitchen, upgrade the bathroom, add a pool in, hardwood floorings, luxury vinyl plank, all that stuff. Then sometimes I check in with them a year or two later and come to find out they may have spent too much money and now they're trying to recoup back what they spent and equity in the home, and sometimes that can't be done. Today I'm going to break down the things that most North Carolina homeowners regret upgrading.
That's my credo, no regrets.
So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the outdoor kitchen, and you know what I'm talking about. I want one too, I'm not going to lie. I definitely want one. The big old grill. You've got burners going, the great looking patio furniture, the gazebo, the pergola, nice big deck, fire pit, all that good stuff going on. I'll give you a good example. I didn't do the big grill, but about 5 years ago, probably longer than that, me and my wife upgraded our backyard. We've got a big old wooden deck, and we were like, oh God, we're just going to use the hell of this thing. Bought a grill, not a big old kitchen grill, just a little $200 grill outside. We bought the patio furniture, we bought the umbrellas, the cushions, all that stuff. And we used it for about the first 2 years, and then, we quit using it. Our cushions started getting all funky looking, and bees were hanging out, and they're looking moldy and mildewed, and it's hard to keep clean. We bought a little container with a lid to throw all the cushions in there. We threw them in there, forgot about them, had a bad rainstorm, and it was horrible. It
wasn't so bad, was it? No.
Not trying to again discourage you. You do what you want to do, obviously, but just a little horror. No, I wouldn't say it was a horror story. We still enjoy our deck. It's big and huge. It is getting a little older now, so definitely probably got a few years left in it, and probably to knock it down. So I didn't go all out, but definitely, with the weather here in North Carolina, it's very humid. We got a lot of pollen, so being out grilling sounds great and fantastic until it's until it's like 90 to 95 degrees. And with the humidity, it feels like it's 120. Unless you plan on grilling late in the day, like 6, 7, which most people are, it's still going to be hot. It's still hot outside. The humidity is horrible. Definitely, if you can do that here in North Carolina, I recommend getting an umbrella, getting some covers, stuff like that. And we've got the gnats and the flies. That's kind of everywhere. So that's really not too much of a deterrent. I think you're gonna just about get that anywhere you go, unless you're way up north, where it does probably happen as often. I think outdoor kitchens became a real big deal during the pandemic. People were thinking, hey, I'm going to be home more often. I don't know how long this pandemic's going to last. And looking at entertaining people. And definitely, if you are doing that, if you like to entertain every weekend or twice a month or whatever, maybe this is a good idea for you. Maybe this is a good investment for you to do. So with that, if you are gonna, definitely entertain people year round, maybe it's worth the $10,000 to $20,000 or $30,000 you may spend. Me personally, I would say just get some nice patio furniture. If you don't have a deck, maybe build a deck. If you have a concrete patio, just get a fire pit out there and just get some chairs. Next thing I talk about are going to be swimming pools. Yes, they're fun, they're entertaining, they're great, especially in North Carolina because it gets hot and humid here, and you definitely want to cool off by jumping into your pool. But the national average increase of a well-maintained pool adds about 5 to 8% to your value of your home. So for example, if you have a house that's cost $400,000, the pool will only bring you a value of about $20,000 to $30,000 possibly. So want to understand right now, the average cost to install a pool, and this could vary from area to area obviously, is $50,000 to $80,000. So if you're looking to buy a pool to hopefully increase the value of your home, bad idea. And a recent trend from Realtor.com shows that homes with pools have recently listed for about 8% more than those without pools. And this varies, of course, throughout the year and area you're in. So you got to look at the area. Now, in a pool in Florida is probably a little different because it's sunny year round, or California. And, they increase the value of your home by 20% possibly. I'm not sure. I'm not a realtor in Florida. Don't know for sure. It's a stat I found. But here in North Carolina, we do have all 4 seasons. So during the winter time, maybe from the end of fall to about the beginning of spring, depends, you're looking about 4 or 5 months without using your pool unless it's heated. And with high insurance of keeping your pool around and just maybe a 3% to 7% bump, I definitely would not do it for investment reasons. And if you're thinking about adding a above ground pool to your house, it does not add value to your house. Sometimes it's going to detract people from coming to your house. I've shown a few homes where I'd say about 90% of them, when they have an above ground pool, they quit taking care of it and they just let it fall to crap. It looks like junk in the backyard. It's like a big old, it's a very big eyesore. Maintaining the pool, fixing repairs, and the high insurance is a big deterrent.
Swimming pools.
Again, I'm not trying to say don't buy a pool. Definitely, your kids at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old are going to love the pool. And if you're buying it for your kids to have fun and for you to have fun, then yeah, definitely it's a great investment if you're looking to invest with your family, with your friends to enjoy. Definitely don't buy it thinking, oh man, my house is going to increase by, 3, 7, 8%. Because yeah, it can, but definitely buy it for the good reasons. At 7 years old, the pool sounds great, but at 17 years old, usually the kids don't care no more. They may have a pool party here once in a while with their teenager friends, but that's probably about it. Next thing I see that's a big issue, especially in my area, Fayetteville near Fort Bragg, are these big backyard playgrounds. Now, sounds great. Don't get me wrong. I probably wanted one when I was little. But being a military brat and moving every 3 to 5 years, if not sooner or later, depends, definitely put it in the backyard, spending thousands of dollars to hook it all up and swing sets and all that good stuff and slides and everything else and ropes and all that stuff. Now you got to move. And 2 things could come up. You better hope the next family who buys it is going to want that. And number 2, they don't. Before you sell the house, you got to tear it down or take it with you. And if you're PCSing to the next duty station, good chance it's not worth it to tear down and have it paid for to bring to your next place. And just remember, kids grow up, they start looking at sports, playing video games, and hang out with their friends, not the backyard slide anymore. So again, not saying don't build one, but just think about if you're going to be here for a while, then yeah, it may be worth it. But 2, 3, 4 years, and then you got to put it up and then tear it down, possibly because the next buyer may not want it. It's a pain in the ass.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Next thing I talk about is high-end appliances. And I'm not going to lie, these appliances that I've seen lately look freaking awesome. I saw a refrigerator the other day in Lowe's, or was at Home Depot, where it's hooked up to your phone. And you've probably seen it too, where you can go, I wonder if I need milk. And you pull your phone out and, it shows the inside of your refrigerator because it has a camera. Do I need, milk? Do I need eggs? Do I need bread? Whatever. It's all right there. So it sounds cool and it sounds great and it's very expensive. But again, where the area I live at, we have people who are transit here, because of Fort Bragg, sometimes you're going to be here 3 to 5 years. Is it really worth it to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on all these appliances and that nice big fridge that's, $2,000, $3,000, and then now it's got to stay with the house? It doesn't really increase the value of a house. I mean, if you buy a $10,000 fridge, I'm being facetious and funny there, that doesn't increase the value of your house by $10,000. All that stuff is great and fun, and it could be a good way for people to walk in your house and go, wow, I love this kitchen. I love those stainless steel appliances. It's definitely going to be a showstopper, and it's going to attract a lot of people, but it doesn't increase the value of your home. And if it does, not by much. So definitely buy it because you want it, you need it, you're going to use it, or if you plan on taking it with you to your next duty station, then by all means, definitely grab one of those if that's what you're going to do. Next, freestanding bathtubs. You've seen them; they look great. The big old cast iron tubs with the big old the legs with the claw marks and all that stuff. I love them too. I think they look great. I'd love to get a hammock tub. I think they look awesome, and I'd probably fall in there and never get out again. But they are a bitch to clean. Sometimes they're oddly shaped, and you're going to have to definitely measure before you decide to take out your old tub, your old shower, a combination of both, to put it in there. And to make sure, you can fit it in there and it's going to look good. And honestly, me and my wife were the same way. We wanted a garden tub, and we got our house has a garden tub and a shower. I think I've used our garden tub in the past 7 years, maybe a dozen times. Maybe. Her a little more, but, I wanted a big old garden tub, and yeah, I don't even use it. In the shower, out the shower, boom. So definitely, again, do it because you want one, not because you want it for investment reasons. So before I go on to the next one, if you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing in the Fayetteville surrounding areas, please reach out to the team and me. We'd love to help you. All my information is below. You can reach out, call, or text me. Definitely, if you need more space, and the garage is the way to go. If you don't plan on buying a new house, you need a fourth bedroom, or need an office, or something like that. You just need more room.
I need more space.
In general, definitely, yeah. The garage is definitely going to be a great space. Single car garage usually is a 20 by 20. A double car garage, I think 25 by 25, I'm not really sure. But that's a lot of space that could help you out if your family's grown or if you just need it. But it can be a logistical and legal headache. If you want to do it the right way, you've got to get permits. Make sure you get a general contractor, and they have a general contractor license. Depends on your garage. A lot of our homes here are built on crawl spaces, so the garage is obviously on slab. Now you've got stairs coming from your house, and you're turning at your garage, stairs going down. Not that it's a big deal, but you're on slab. You've got to get it heated, air conditioned. So now you got to install ductwork, installation, maybe another air conditioning unit or heat pump, or whatever the case would be, to keep the house, to keep it cool. You've got lighting in there, and with your garage, it should be insulated already a little bit, so not a big deal. But now you got it where the garage door was at. You got to wall that in. Are you going to put brick there, wood? What's going there, or a combination of everything? And you're probably thinking, I won't get a permit. I'm going to live here forever. Well, you take a chance there. Good chance you could live there forever, and you never have to encounter these problems. But good chance you may have to sell this house in the future, or you plan to, or things happen. Life, takes a different direction from what you're expecting. Now you go to sell that house. Now it's going to be an issue because they're going to say, hey, who built this? Who closed this garage and made it a bedroom? Where's your permit? And then what's going to happen here? A lot of things that happen. It's happened to a realtor friend of mine who went to sell a house, and I don't know if they converted a garage, but they did add on an extra room. It wasn't permitted. So we'll kind of first find the guy for not getting a permit. Second of all, they did not count it as livable space. So I think it was like an extra 500 square feet, if I'm correct. And now that was an issue. So that, the value of his house didn't go up by adding this on because he didn't do it correctly.
You need like a permit.
And then another thing is the city was like, I don't know who built this. I don't know if they built it to code. This thing could collapse tomorrow and kill somebody or hurt somebody. And we don't approve it. So then in that turn, obviously the person who was going to buy the house was getting a loan, and then their appraisal denied it. So there goes that loan. So the chance of you selling this house now to somebody with a loan has been gone from 100% to 0%. Your only chance now is a cash buyer. And we don't have a lot of those running around. I mean, you could get lucky, but you could end up shooting yourself in the foot. So definitely get permits. Obviously, lose a parking spot, parking space. And what I've seen a lot here, and live around Fayetteville near the Fort Bragg area, we got a lot of soldiers here, obviously, and they like a garage so they can put their stuff in the garage. They've got a lot of military supplies and everything. So now you've taken away where they're going to put their stuff for the most part, and they want a house typically with a garage. In other parts of North Carolina, it may not be an issue. So, definitely check out the area you're going to buy a house in North Carolina to see if this may or may not be a good idea. Next thing I see is turning a bedroom into a closet. Again, if you plan on, living in this house forever, yeah, that's fine. If you had a 3-bedroom house and now it's a 2-bedroom house, or if you got a 4-bedroom house and you're like, now it's a 3-bedroom, no big deal. You got a bigger closet, fabulous. But if you go to resell this house again, and now you got to you got to market it as a 3-bedroom, because technically it is a 3-bedroom, unless you plan on converting it back to a 4-bedroom, which I guess you could do, but you just kind of wasted your time and money. You're spending money for no reason. So definitely think about that before you do it. If it's going to be if you got so many rooms, you're okay with it, then cool. If it's a 4-bedroom, I think it'd be okay. It really depends on you. 3-bedroom, now you just limit it to a 2-bedroom. And people may need a 3-bedroom house. They may have a husband and wife, kids, or they want an office or something like that. Next thing I talk about is open shelving in the kitchen. Sounds great. It looks pretty in Pinterest, but it can be a nightmare depending on you and your family and the size of your kitchen. With North Carolina, we've got pollen, we've got a lot of dust here, and all that grease, and everywhere it gets all your stuff, all your plates are open. So now your kitchen, you're cooking.
Kitchen, back in the kitchen.
All that stuff's getting flying around. Not saying you're opening windows and pollen's flying in all day, or maybe you are, I don't know. But I just see the open kitchen for a small kitchen, probably not a good idea, or a busy kitchen. And I mean, mama and grandma's always in there cooking, and everyone's in each other's way. Probably not a good idea. Little kids running around, pets chasing each other, and at open shelving, they run into it, and boom, plates go flying everywhere. It's just, I can see it really being more of a headache than looking pretty and nice. Definitely, if you got a big kitchen and a lot of space, and it might be do something you want, then yeah, definitely go for it. However, just remember, it sounds great, looks great. Sometimes it's not. And I'd say my biggest pet peeves for me personally are solar panels. I think they're a waste of money and time, and I don't think they bring that much value to the home. I've shown a lot of homes, and for the most part, most of these sellers still owe money on their solar panels. They spend all this money on solar panels. I don't even know how much solar panels really cost. I looked it up, and they could be $20,000 to $25,000 depending on the size of your house and roof and how many solar panels you want. Here in North Carolina, yes, we get a lot of sun here. Definitely, I'm all about energy saving. I'm not saying I like to waste energy. I definitely do not. So the great tool, energy saving, yes, all that's great. If you got a smart car, I think like for instance, my father-in-law, he got some solar panels on his house because he has a smart car, and it charges his car, so he's happy with it. And he's over 70 years old, and he plans on living in that house until the day he passes away or is gone. So it's probably a good investment for him.
I'll be stuck here forever.
But for a military couple, again, if you move in here, you're PCSing, and you spend $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 on a solar panel, and you're on a payment plan, and you think, okay, well, my house is $200,000, and the solar panel costs $20,000. Now my house is worth $220,000. No, it's not. It's only worth $200,000 still. Now you're making payments on solar panels, and you can't sell your house. And your only hope is that the buyer will take over your payments, or you have to sell the house and make payments on these solar panels for the next 5, 7, 10 years, however long you decided to pay for these things with interest. And that shit sucks. Some of the pros are definitely, we got 213 plus sunny days a year. You get a federal tax break of 30%, Duke Energy rebate of $400 up to $400 kW up to $4,000. No private tax hike in North Carolina for solar panels. Definitely consider 13-year payback period on average. Upfront cost of $23,500. You may not recoup your costs. Sell within 5 to 10 years. Recoup your costs within 5 to 10 years. So if you move here and you plan on staying in the military or moving back to wherever you came from, and you don't plan on being here for at least 5 to 10 years, that's going to be a problem. Like I said earlier, definitely do the math before you buy these things.